me or is it more crispier? Maybe it's the battery. Because this is really
the
crispy.
Duracell's acting.
The Duracell's acting.
Shout out to Duracell. This
Duracell.
is sponsored.
Sponsored by. Please sponsor us.
Yo, if we got sponsored by Duracell one day, we really made it.
We really made it. Really.
No,
Please send us a new podcast thingy.
Oh yeah, ours is so bad and it dies
24/7.
But that's probably because we weren't using Duracell.
Yeah, literally. And you know what? For something that we got for really cheap, it's pretty good.
Okay, I don't know if you guys have ever looked into like mics and podcast equipment, but it's not cheap because you need like what is this called again? It's not a soundboard, but you need basically like a device that connects mic to headset. It's super expensive. Yeah. And we found one with 4 plugs, so we can have 2 additional guests, and it was literally like a fraction of the ones that were 2 plugs.
I see.
So we robbed them somehow.
Welcome back to Muslim Mommies. This is Nona.
This is Audif.
And we're glad that you're here.
We missed you as usual. Me and Nona got together like an hour ago, but we had to do a bunch to just prepare for this podcast with like the battery and stuff. But we're excited to get started talking about this topic. And it's about like gyms and the hardships of going to the gym and taking care of yourself.
Yes.
It's not easy, like it's not supposed to be. But before we dive into anything, Nona's doing the 75 hard, and you guys know this. I just wanted to ask her like how it was going and how she feels. Like I just want to hear everything because that's not easy. And she did 75 hard like plus her crazy like version of it. So I know it's difficult. So I just want to hear like a little catch up.
It's definitely hard. I think like it's definitely time consuming. Like the one thing that like is like difficult for me is a gallon of water every single day, just because I forget to drink water, and like I just don't like using the restroom 24/7.
It's a hassle.
Yeah. And then you go out and you have to use a public restroom, and I hate public restrooms. It's just like
but you start to notice like when I my water intake's not bad, but like I used to be way better and I used to be like that. You start to notice how little people use the restroom. Like if I would hang out with people, I would go to the restroom like 3 times. 3 times, yeah. And no one even goes at all.
Yeah, and you know what? I've noticed my skin's getting better.
Yeah.
Like I'm hydrated, girl, you know?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and then like the other thing is like I think the 2 workouts a day is just like
I was
like,
gonna say, how's the outdoor one? Like,
okay,
that seemed like that would probably wear me down the most.
Yeah, okay, that's the thing. It's like I have to like get up and like go outside, and I'm like, but it's not that bad. Honestly, like you kind of look forward to it now, you know? Yeah. It's like it's just peaceful, you know? I usually like leave my phone like in my pocket on do not disturb, and I go on my walks.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's nice. And birds are chirping. I'm just like zen. I'm like manifesting while I'm walking, you know?
That's so cute.
Yeah, it's cute. It's cute.
Yeah.
How's life?
Life's good for me. Everything's the same old.
Good.
I was gonna ask more about the 75 hard, but you switched it again. Like my mind split up. I was gonna say, what are you reading?
I'm reading How to Talk to People, a book.
Oh, like a self-help book?
Yeah, self-help book. It's pretty good because I don't know how to talk to people. I only know how to talk to our Rav.
I was gonna say, like, when Nona says stuff like that, it honestly confuses me. Like, the other day she told me, she's like, I'm shy. I'm like, not to me. Like, I would never guess that you're shy, but it makes sense because, like,
I'm like comfortable around you.
Yeah, and we're also both reserved, so I can sort of see like how you would be shy. But it's like she'll tell me things, and I'm like, yeah, I definitely don't see that, Nona. Like she'll be like, I don't know how to talk to people, but like she comes to me, she's like, it's like talking up a storm. I'm like, I really.
But honestly, I've noticed that. Am I shy? I don't know, cause like I have my waves.
Where like you're extroverted?
I'm extroverted, and I'll talk to everyone and anyone, and then I have like ways where I'm just like shy and I get nervous. And what is that? Am I bipolar?
I was about to say that I can relate. So whenever you figure out what that is, tell me, because I definitely go through the same. I go to phases where I'm like, I love to social gatherings. Yeah. I can't wait to see anyone. And then other weeks where I'm
I just don't know how to speak.
Yeah, I'm like, please don't invite me. Like, I would have trouble. I would be anxious.
Yeah. Oh my God, what is that? Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one.
I don't know. Maybe it's just based off other things that happen in that era.
Maybe it's the vibe.
Yeah.
Maybe it is the vibe.
Maybe.
Oh my God, maybe it is the vibe. I'm not even kidding.
No, it could be.
It's the energy.
It could be.
Because like I'll go to a coffee shop and I'll like talk to everyone like I know them. And then I'll go to like a restaurant and I'd be like zipped. Yeah. Like shaking.
especially like when we went to Catch.
Oh my god, we did go to.
What do you think of Catch's vibe? Gave me that kind of vibe. Like,
Yeah, I was like shy.
Yeah, why?
I was like, okay, you know what? I think it's because like places like Catch people go to, and it's like very show off, like not laid back.
yeah, you can't be. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So people are always like looking at each other, seeing who's who, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I think that's why. Oh my god, I
No,
think
that's
we
accurate.
cracked the code, guys. We cracked the code.
Yeah, I think that's really accurate, and I didn't realize till then. But like, I go to restaurants and I love it, super talky, having a good time. But then I go places like Catch and I don't have a good time, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I hated this.
Exactly. And also, I realized that like my shyness depends on how confident I feel that day.
Oh, that's 100% for me.
Right?
Like, I have trouble, dude. Like, oh my god, this is literally perfect, by the way, because it has to do with the gym. Like, if I don't like the way that I look, and I'm going to the gym that day, it gets so uncomfortable. Like, I don't want people looking in my direction. I don't want people talking to me. Like, and I start to be shy and uncomfortable. Like, if someone does talk to me, I feel like I fluster. Like, I just want to be in my ball in that moment. So if I'm not confident, neither is my social skills.
That is
like,
so true. That's true. That's so true. If I look good, I'm talking to everyone and their mama. But if I don't look good, like, I literally shake and I sweat.
Yeah, no, me too. And I'll race out of there. Like, I'll make sure that my gym workout finishes as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Like, normally if I want to do like a specific exercise and it's taken, I will go to another one, but I'll come back to that one. On days like that, I'll just be like, I don't have to do that exercise. Like,
Yeah.
I'll just hop over. I just make it as quick as possible.
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy. Well, anyways, we're on the topic of gyms.
Yeah.
Let's talk about like the negatives of the gym. When, like, as a beginner, as an advanced, let's talk about it.
Yeah. The gym, like I said a little bit in the beginning, like the gym is not supposed to be easy. So I feel like a lot of the time when you're spending time working on yourself and building better habits of going to the gym, exercising regularly, it's gonna suck though, because it's gonna feel like it's hard. I don't have the motivation to, like, I don't want to do it. Like, how am I supposed to get myself in there every day? I get a lot of messages and comments about stuff like that. They'll ask me, like, how do you get in there every day? How are you motivated? And I know people have heard this a ton from like other influencers, is I'm not motivated every day. I am actively choosing to do something that I might not desire as much that day, but I know that in the grand scheme of things, I want this. Like, so I always say, like, never really do things that you don't want to do. And there's always exceptions to that. Like, if you're having a really rough day, like, and you don't want to go to the gym, don't go to the gym. But most of the time, like, you not wanting it, you should look past that and realize, like, the grand scheme of things, you want this. Like, even though in that moment you're struggling a little bit, you want to be there. So you just got to push yourself. It's this active choice. It's sort of like how people say loving someone else is a choice. And it's the same concept with yourself. Like, loving yourself is a choice. You're going to have to actively choose to come over those little bumps every single day that you think about them.
100% agree. It's like discipline comes into play.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. Because like sometimes you gotta drag yourself out there, and you have to remind yourself that like you're doing this for a reason. You have to remind yourself, like, I don't know, like, I'm gonna feel good. Like, right now I don't want to go, but I know that when I go, I'm gonna feel good after. I'm gonna be so happy that I went. Or like, oh, like, I have this like image in my mind of like how I want my physique to be. Like, these are the days that count, you know?
Yeah. I think that the remembering how you feel after is the number one
The
thing.
best.
It's the number one thing for me. Every time I don't want to go because I feel like shit, it's more of a reason to go, because I'm like, I feel so crappy right now.
Yeah.
And I know that feeling never stays post workout.
Yeah.
So I'll take myself and just go without desiring, and I end up like leaving and I'm like, I'm glad I went.
Yeah, and I'm happy. I'm blasting my music. Windows are down.
Yeah.
Good vibes.
And also, it's like every single time that you teach yourself that you're not going to listen to those negative, those moments that are pushing you back in your mind, they start showing up less and less. So every time you give in, you are giving it more room to sort of control your life. Like, every time you have a bad day and you don't want to go to the gym, but you know that you want to be there, the next day you're like, I wish I went yesterday. That should be a sign, like, to just push yourself to go, because every time you overcome that step, you start being motivated more. You start like having less of those rough days.
I agree. And then you know what? One thing that I really want to talk about is burnout.
Yeah, because it's real.
Yeah.
It gets people who are the most dedicated.
Yeah. Like I remember like I used to go through periods of burnout, and then I was like, maybe it's me, maybe I'm wrong. And then I saw like other like influencers like post about burnout and how like they just didn't feel like going to the gym, and like they literally like stopped working out like in general for like a whole month they would take off.
Yeah, which is crazy for people who are active every single day of their lives.
Yeah, and who are like mentally and physically trained to like go to the gym. Like burnout is real, and sometimes you just gotta give your mind and body a rest, because then you come back like stronger than ever. Yeah, so I think it's like important to like realize that like you're not alone if you face burnout. Like if you are advanced and you go to the gym 24/7, like one day you just wake up and you're like, I don't want to go. Give yourself like a break, maybe like a month or so.
Yeah. And nothing is gonna happen.
Yeah, muscle memory.
It's so real, especially if you've been training for a long time. Like there's that quote that like a good body wasn't built or destroyed in a day.
Exactly.
That's why you don't trip about like being out for a month, and that's why like a really like strong person is admirable, because you know that's months and days of work. A month is gonna do absolutely nothing, like
exactly.
except heal you.
Yeah.
In moments where you feel like you're on the edge and you're literally burnt.
Exactly.
And that's why some people also take deload weeks. I think that could maybe prevent burnout.
Yeah.
There's people who like actively will take a week and just do lower intensity, just move, but in really lighter levels. And I think that could potentially prevent you from ever feeling like you're burning out, because your body would get the rest that it needs and it probably wouldn't crave it later. But I've been a victim of burnout. Have you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, go.
No, I want to hear yours.
Okay, so like recently, I don't think I've told you this, but like recently, like I've been getting really bored with my workouts. Like I don't know if you guys see my videos, but my videos are in a dark gym, and like sometimes like that gets so like tiring on you, and I do the same thing over and over again. Like there's barely anyone I could talk to, so it's not like I look forward to like anyone. I mean, sometimes I do, I get lucky and there are people there that I do communicate with, and it's nice, and I love talking to people, but
oh no, like just hit me up, let's live together.
No way, really?
For real. And we have that John Reed membership.
We do.
Yeah, we don't, it's far, so
Yeah.
we don't really go often, but like when you have those like shit days,
Yeah.
just be like, just do it.
I will.
Dude, that's funny. The other day she was like to me, like I was telling her about something that's happening, and she was like, Autumn, like I'm your friend, you know that, right? Like you have to like hit me up, like, and we can just, if you're lonely, like we can just spend time together. And I was like, okay, yeah, like, and now she's telling me this, like, no, I'm your friend, like never, like, especially because I know like you like to stay active, so if it's ruining your experience in the gym, like let's live together, we'd love that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, but anyways, continue. Let's hear it.
Yeah, so like I basically got really bored, right? Like I was having horrible mind to muscle connect, and this has been going on for like a month or so. Honestly, yeah, a month, close to 2 months, but I was having like horrible lift sessions. Like it would be really, really rare for me to have like a good lift session, and then like I noticed that I wasn't eating enough. And I don't know, but like I was eating, but not enough to like fuel and like grow. And then like I've noticed that I was losing a lot of muscle mass. Like even like my gym friends, like when they saw me, they would like notice. They're like, oh, you're kind of like, you know, like you're not as like muscular as you were before, like stuff like that.
Oh, I don't like comments like that though.
No, I like it.
Do you really?
I love criticism.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, that would
and
get me in my head. That's why I say it. But I'm happy that you like it.
Yeah, no, I love when people like are straight up like yeah. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I am. And then I was like, okay, what can I do? And I was like, okay, I just need to change my environment. And then recently, like, I've been going with my friend like to Soul Cycle.
Oh yeah, you told me.
Yeah, so I've been going there, and then I've been doing like hiking recently too. And like we went and we did like stadium stair like runs. And then like I was like, okay, this is good. So like what I've noticed is that sometimes you do get bored at the gym, and I think it's like really important to just like switch up your workout.
100%.
Yeah, and now I'm good. Now I'm eating more. I've realized that like naturally, organically, I'm eating more. I'm having great lifts now, like good
just because
lifts.
you spiced it up.
Just because I spiced it up. Yeah. So like literally, if you ever feel bored at the gym, like just switch it up. Like maybe take a class. Like I know that like I want to do like hot yoga. You want to do hot yoga with me?
Yes.
Let's do hot yoga.
I've been dying. There's a hot yoga place literally right here.
Let's go.
Literally right here.
So and let's do crazy stuff. like different like workout stuff.
Okay, can I? You know
You
what I've
wanna do
always wanted
Pilates?
to. Yeah, Pilates I heard is really difficult. Like
It's
in a good
good.
way. Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm down. I've also heard there's something that I've always wanted to do is pole dancing. Because people say it's so intense.
I'm so down.
It takes an incredible amount of like upper body strength. But I'm down. I literally love doing like I go to workout classes. I used to just try them out a lot. Like when I used to go to UCLA, I had friends who were like athletes for like no-go. So sometimes they would, I think like once we went with them, but every now and then I would go with like my friend to like a different workout class where they had like stairmasters and circuits. It's just super cool. It spices things up, and I agree. It makes you love fitness.
It does. And I think like literally like if anyone is experiencing like burnout or getting bored, like literally just spice it up. Spice it up, because that literally solved my problem. And like it's fun.
Yeah, and it's so valid, because like someone who like let's say is lifting all the time and is experiencing burnout, like you're probably burning out from weightlifting.
Yeah.
I bet if you walked, like you would probably start being in love with walking. If you started running, you might pick up on running. You get what I'm saying? Like you could still move in different ways, and then eventually your love for lifting would just gradually come back. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, bro, I love it. Also, I just love like the gym community. You know what? I think the best like rewarding feeling is like when you go to gym consistently at like one time, you know, a specific time.
Yeah.
And then everyone's just like, you walk in and everyone's like, hey.
Yeah.
That's like the best feeling in the world, bro. It's like, I love it.
I love it too.
And you know what? The gym is a place where like everyone's friends. Like no one cares about what you do, who you are, how old you are. You know, like I'm friends with people who are like
in that room.
Everyone's equal.
Everyone is equal.
Everyone's equal.
And this is such a good topic, because people go into the gym and they go, I don't belong. I feel uncomfortable. And I'm like, you don't realize that everyone in that room looks at you and thinks of you the same way that they think of themselves. Like everyone in a gym room is equal. There are very few people who are ever going to judge you at the gym, and I promise you those people are outcasts in the gym.
Exactly.
They don't fit in with the rest of the people.
The rest of the people reject
won't.
them. Yeah.
Most people never would. It's so you are family in that gym.
You are family. That is so true.
And if you consistently show up at one time, like some people's schedules don't allow it to, but if you have the opportunity to, that has always been my number one tip. If you show up at the same time every time, you will see how soon that people start to love you and respect you like a friend. Like they'll be like, yo, what's up? Nice to see you again. Nice outfit. Oh my God, your gains are showing. Like it's so cool.
It's the most like love that you, oh my God, I love it. I literally love it. It's the best feeling. It really is.
Mm-hmm. And they'll also like point out progress that you make, which I think is cool, because they see you so often. Like there's this old man who sees me at the gym that I go to. Every now and then, like he'll show up at that time, and every now and then I go at different times too. But like one time he came up to me, he's like it's just so sweet to be complimented by people like that. He's like, every time I see you, you're just getting stronger. Like you're so incredibly strong for a young woman. Like asked for my name, introduced himself to me. He was like, okay, have a good workout. Like it's so wholesome. Yeah,
those are the best. It is your day.
And it makes you want to go to the gym.
Yeah, because you're like, I want to see this person again, you know, I want to communicate. It's the positivity that the gym brings. It honestly is. Like there is no negativity at the gym if you think about it. Like, okay, if someone judges you at the gym, it's them. It's literally just them. Because like, let me tell you, every single person at that gym started as a beginner. Every single person at that gym walked in, was confused, probably like didn't know what to do, how to lift, and they
maybe lifted
learned.
Incorrectly in the beginning.
Didn't know. Yeah, exactly. And you know what? Every single person who is there, who's consistent and is a regular over there, they're never gonna look at you and like judge you and be like, what are they doing? They're gonna like respect you and like, you know, like let you do you and figure you out, and they're literally not gonna pay attention to you, because like
all day at the gym, who do you stare at the gym?
Yourself. They're like, there to work on themselves and dip.
Yeah.
You know? And then like, let's say that you are afraid to go to the gym, right? Remember that if you let that fear stop you, you're never going to be where you want to be. So you just got to suck it up and be like, hey, I have goals in mind. I'm going in, whether like I'm scared or not, because if I don't, then I'm never going to reach where I am. And you know what? You're letting yourself stop you from your own like progress, when in reality, no one really cares at the gym, like what you do.
Yes.
So it's just you in your own head. Just go. No one cares. And you know what? No one's even going to notice you. Like, no one cares, because they're going there, get a lift, and dip.
100%.
It's only you in your head. It's only you in your head being, oh my God, they're going to look at me. They're going to think I'm weird. In reality, no one's really paying attention.
Ever. It's really, like she's saying, it's a battle with yourself. So every time you feel, every time you feel those like anxious feelings, it is just you. So like she's saying, like you just have to turn it off. Like, and if you can't turn it off, like there's that quote that says, if you can't beat fear, do it scared.
Yeah.
And it stops being scary. Like, I promise you, like, if you're in those stages where everything makes you feel anxious about going to the gym, that is a temporary feeling. And the only way you're going to pass that temporary feeling is if you keep showing up.
Period.
If you stay inconsistent and if you stay not showing up and only showing up once a week, that feeling could carry on for 5 years. But if you go consistently for a month, it's going to be gone. I promise you. So you choose 5 years or a month, you know? You just send it, like she said, and you're going to see how quickly, like, before you know it, you're going to make one friend. Yeah. And it's going to go from being anxious to greeting the front worker at the front desk every single time that you go because it's the same person. And now they know you by name, and now you feel like you belong. And now your lift's increasing. You're getting complimented. You're making friends. You're lifting with people. And you're going to be like, before you know it, you're going to be a meathead. And you're going to be like, how did I get here?
Literally, it's baby steps, and everyone took the same steps.
Yeah. And it's the initiation phase. It's
like a frat.
It really is a frat, but there's no hazing because no one cares.
Literally,
you're hazing yourself at the gym.
Yeah, that's so real.
Yeah, and there's so many things that you can do to make that process easier. Like little things that if you want, you could be doing. I talk about this on all my platforms, and it's the major thing. Get headphones.
Oh yes.
Huge headphones. Play music and just look at your workout the entire time, like your mirror the entire time. Pay no mind to anyone else around you. And another thing that I really enjoy doing is really like invest in things that make you feel comfortable and confident, and that changes everything.
Exactly. I agree 100%.
Yeah, it's the little things that matter in the gym, and they go a long way. And it's important, like, that when you're at the gym, like especially in your beginning stages, you might like notice everyone else around you, but we said this a few times. Every single person in the gym is staring at themselves in the mirror. They're trying to correct their form. They're taking pictures of themselves. They're looking at their exercise that they're completing. It's never eyes on you, and it's eyes on them.
Exactly. Always.
Yeah.
At all times, literally.
I'm gonna restart this.
Okay.
This is at 4. Might as well, you know.
Yeah.
I was gonna carry on with that by asking you, like, when's the last time? Or just like you talked about burnout, but when's the last time you didn't desire like going to the gym? Like, and what did you do that day besides like just sending it?
So are you talking about the last like day that I had this?
Yeah, or maybe like just the most recent thing that you can remember where you just had a day like you're like, I don't want to lift, or like I'm not feeling confident. I don't want to step outside of my room and go to the gym today. Like, how do you handle days like that? What do you do?
Days like that. Ooh, do
like
I have
like
many?
That. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I think like what I do is usually I just blast some like energetic music, and I get up and I do like 10 jumping jacks.
Like just get your body moving.
Yeah, I get my body moving, you know, because like when you're in like you're at home, you're chilling, like you're being a little bit lazy. I usually just like blast some like hype music, pop out like 10 jumping jacks, get my blood flow racing, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready.
I like that, those movements, because I sort of resort to movement sometimes.
Yeah.
I've never tried jumping jacks, but sometimes I'll go on a walk.
Yeah.
They're like, movement is healing. Like, I'm a big fan of that. And I'll just go on a walk, and it's like sort of the same. I'll listen to music, and I'm a big visualizer. Like, I will, yeah, you agree? I will literally, while I'm walking, just
imagine myself at the gym.
Yeah, or things that just make me happy. Like, I will, if I'm having thoughts about like how I don't want to show up to the gym, I will think about things related to that. Like, sometimes like when I'm on the walk, I'll think about like the progress that I've made, or think about me at the gym, or think about me doing other things that just make me really happy. And I'm just on this walk, and I'm imagining all these positive things in my life, and all of a sudden, like, I loved my walk and everything in front of me is beautiful. I'm like, it's such a nice day. And I get back to my place, I'm like, I should just get in my car and go to the gym. Like, it's a snap of the fingers. Like, it goes from a dark day to sort of me like, oh my God, like there's all these thoughts go to like really positive things that happen and happy moments, and I'm like, oh my God, the world is bright. And then I start going, I get to the apartment, and I'm like, I should go to the gym.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. It's the first movement that makes the first movement of going to the gym. Yeah,
it's like you take the first step, and then that's it. Like,
exactly.
If you're having trouble moving, you just literally move
literally
in any way that you can. Sometimes though, like I don't know, like sometimes I'll literally just like sit on my like couch or my PC, like if I have some stuff to do, and I'll just like get my notebook and I'll just write things out. I feel like writing sometimes helps, and I'll just I'll release the things that I'm thinking, the things that I'm feeling onto my journal. And I always feel some kind of like weight lifted. So if it's like I'm feeling really drowsy and I'm feeling really like not in the mood to do anything physical, I'll write it out. Like, why do I think I feel that way? How do I usually feel? How do I want to feel? How do I know that I'm going to feel at the end of the week versus the way that I'm feeling today? And as soon as I close that notebook, it's literally like a relief. It's almost like physically walking or physically moving my body.
I'm really happy that you brought journaling up because I hear a lot about it, but I never knew like what effects it has.
Have you never journaled?
I've never journaled.
Nona, it would. You're reserved.
Yeah.
I know that about you, and you're like me. You're like me. You probably bottle a lot of things inside, whether it's good or bad. Like I won't share even my successes with people. I don't have a lot of people to. I do have that. I take that back. That's wrong. I just choose not to for some reason. But I won't like. Let's say a major accomplishment happens. I don't run to like people to tell them for some reason. So the good and the bad gets bottled. When you journal, you like. I think it's important as humans to express like. It's one of the most important things that we do, and it's one of the most healing things that we do when you let things out. So when you don't for a while, it's not that like it could have really negative effects, but even if it doesn't, you're not going to recognize them until you start expressing. Like when you start letting those things out, even if it's on pen and paper, you're going to be like, wait a minute, it's nice to express, because I've never done that for so long. And like, I don't know if this is true, but I remember reading or hearing or something about how like the pen to paper, like it could sort of rewrite your subconscious. Like your mind sees and follows what you're writing. So if all day you are writing positive things on your journal, your mind starts to be ridden with a positive subconscious. Does that make sense? I also make this effort, like for anyone who wants to journal, this is something that I really like. There's tons of journal prompts that you can use, like little questions that you can answer that will help you sometimes maybe like go back into the past and think about things. But other than that, this is something that I really like to use, and this is what I like to tell people to use. Sometimes people use journaling just to literally journal about their day and let loose of things that have made them sad, made them happy. I like to follow every negative statement and sort of make it temporary on paper and follow it with a statement that says that it's going to be okay. Does that make sense?
I love that.
So I don't like to write those negatives like they're set in stone. So like, let's say in this moment I wake up and something happens and I'm really down and I am feeling so unmotivated and I just feel like shit. I'm not happy. Let's say I'm depressed, right? I'm not going to write on my paper. I would never end the statement slowly with, I feel like shit, I'm depressed. I don't want to release that way. If I do, I'll be like, right now, I don't feel okay, but I know that I will in the future. Something like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, positive twist to it.
Yeah, always. Just because I don't know, I'm a big fan, and I know you are. I'm a huge believer in manifestation and speaking your reality into existence, and just how powerful your mind is. I mean, like, if you think about it, like, the mind is so powerful. And I just trigger warning, this is going to be a little bit about suicide. So if someone doesn't really want to like listen to this, but like the mind can be so powerful that if someone is incredibly sad, it can take them to take their own life. Like that's so powerful and it's so devastating, you know? So it's like if you can wire your mind to being positive, and always, I don't know, just assuming that the best is going to come, I think that can create your reality, you know?
Yeah, and you know what? I think the mind is so like underrated.
Yes.
Like a lot of people don't realize, you know, that like your mind creates a reality.
Yeah.
Your thoughts are your reality. That is the truth. So
yeah, the thoughts that you choose, right? So
yeah,
there's those little thoughts
yeah.
that come through and you just let them slide. But when you choose your thoughts and you're asking your mind and you're telling your mind to think these, you close your eyes and you're imagining a greater life for you or a happier life for you, and you're controlling your mind for the pieces that you can. You are doing yourself such a big favor. You don't even understand.
They're kind of like your mind is your glasses. You know, it's the lens that you put in front of your eyes.
Yeah,
you see the world like the lens that you create.
Yeah, I like that. And if you tell yourself like every time I'm down and every time let's say I don't feel worthy and I write in my journal and I put, but I am. Like I know that I am, and that's when I start that's when I start actively shuffling through your mind. Even on the days where I don't really feel like I am, I go, okay, like, why am I though? I know that I have some things that are valuable that make me feel worthy. What is it? And then that's those it's harder on those days that you don't feel that way, but you'll still sit there and you rack your mind. You're like, okay, well, I'm pretty nice to my friends. So you're like, yeah, you know, you're like, you know, like you start thinking of all these different things that make you a good person on the days that you don't feel worthy. And that kind of practice, not a lot of people do, you know? And it could be super helpful, like, to your bad days. Like, if you just sit there and you work out your mind. The same way you have to go through reps for, like, muscles, you go through reps for your mind. Like, you actively ask yourself questions. Ask yourself your goals, things that make you grateful. That's one of my favorites, like listing gratefulness stuff, your gratitude.
Same.
You start to just be grateful for everything.
Yeah. And you know what? A lot of people like view this and like, whatever, I don't need to write something. Like, that's so like, you know? But like, at one point, I did think the same. I was like, this is like some BS. Like, write my feelings down.
It's so
or
valid
something.
to feel that way. Like, you know?
Yeah,
like,
because I'm like, well, I don't need to do this. Like, what is this? You know? But I always hear people talk about journaling. And like, honestly, I think you inspired me.
Yeah. Like, think about it this way. Let me explain it to you in a way that you would for sure know. When you study, how well do you remember something that you wrote down versus that you read?
Yeah, really well.
Sometimes my study tactic would just to rewrite things that I knew that were going to be incredibly important. But why is that? Your mind has a better time recalling those things. So at the very least, this isn't like magic. It's not like I'm going to write I am happy and tomorrow I'm going to wake up with the biggest smile on my face. Exactly. No, it's work. You're putting in work. Yeah. But you're telling yourself that you're worth the work to put in. Like, you're worth, even on your eye crust in your eyes, you're having a really bad day and you don't want to do any of this, but you sit down and you're like, I am grateful for, like, it makes a difference, you know? It does. It's repetitive. And you won't see it until you notice the little positives in your life. Like, do you meditate? Oh, you do meditate now because of the 75 hard. Oh my God, what do you think of it? I know you had it before. What do you think of it?
Okay, bro, it's hard because like, you're supposed to like not think, you know, like have a blank like mind or stuff.
You're supposed to think.
And but like you're not supposed to like overthink, you know? It's like it's supposed to like calm, you know, and like we take you to like serene place and stuff like that. It's hard for me. Yeah. I'm definitely haven't mastered it yet. It's only been like 6 days, but like I don't know. It's good. I do feel like more like awake after it.
How long do you meditate for? 10. That's a good amount. I mean,
I don't like it.
Yeah. You know what? Like, it's day 5? 6?
6.
You will, like what you said about how your mind is loud, right? Yeah. Basically, like, and something that I read once about meditation when I first started, which is funny because I was like, I can't fucking like shut up my mind, and I was like Googling and I didn't like it because I read what meditation was supposed to be about, and someone was like, if your mind was quiet, you'd be dead.
Oh, that's true.
Like the human brain is meant to constantly be throwing thoughts, but you will notice that as you meditate, it learns to be a little bit more silent. It's never going to be silent, but it'll stop being as chaotic. Like in the beginning, like you constantly have these thoughts, and with meditation, you're supposed to like redirect them. Like if you're just sitting there and you're meditating and your mind goes, I have to cook dinner. Like
that always happens. Yeah, I'm like, oh wait, I had to do this today. I was like, you know, I'm like, what? Why is my brain doing that?
It's so interesting, but look, you would never pay attention to that. You don't pay attention to your mind, and it's crazy. It's the most important part of us, and you never sit down and listen to it, which is crazy. Like, how much of your life have you ever spent like listening to your thoughts only? You don't. You exist with your thoughts. So when you give them its own moment, you realize you're a little bit funny. Like, I was sitting there once, I was taking a meditation course at UCLA that they offered it, and his way of showing us how funny it was that like, and how normal it was for your mind to go everywhere. After we finished meditating, he's like, I need you guys to tell me the craziest place your mind went. So we went around in a circle, and everyone's story was so funny. Someone was like, I started thinking about a recipe for soup that I like. And so for me, I started visualizing like a fictional story in my head for no reason. Like, I heard sirens outside, and I thought of a movie of like someone getting arrested, you know? And it's so common, but it's so interesting because these things happen on the regular, you know? And when you start giving it attention and you start focusing on it, you get a little bit of more control over your thoughts and over your peace. You learn how to let thoughts come and go, which is an incredible tool. So those moments where you're like, I feel like shit, I look like shit, you're like, boop, let it pass. The same way you do in meditation, where something's like, oh my God, I have to do, and you're like, shut up for a second.
Yeah. That's what
it's a useful tool. It's a useful tool for anxiety. It's a useful tool for just focus.
It is,
especially for someone who I self-diagnose myself, but I think I have ADHD, and then this is no joke though. Like I'm not saying it, like I literally think that I would benefit from like meds. Yes, I really do. But I don't know about this. But I also mentioned this once in my YouTube videos. But when I went to my therapist for ADHD, they were just like, you also have like anxiety and stuff. So they're like, let's focus on that first, because Adderall could potentially make anxiety worse. You know. So but I'm almost positive that I have it.
But honestly, I feel like ADHD is a gift. I feel
definitely
like society like views it as a negative stigma, but I think it's so cool.
There's power to everything. You can definitely use it to your advantage. I'm a splendid multitasker. Like 12 tasks. Dude, sometimes my apartment looks like a mess. Like on my days that I clean, I will start like, let's say like wiping my table and just throw everything on the floor. I'm like, I'm going to redo the table. And then all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute, I want to redo my closet. And then my closet's on the floor. I'm hopping back. I'm like cooking a meal. It's like the craziest thing, but it gets done. You know?
That's a gift, bro. That's a superpower. Like,
it could be. It could be. Sometimes though, it sucks. Like sometimes I need this focus, and I just feel like my mind and my eyes won't give it to me, and then sometimes it makes my thoughts super chaotic, all of these things. But meditation helps. Like it helps bring a sense of calmness into your life, and a sense of, it's also made me, I think, more like a better responder to bad situations in my life. Like situations that I would normally get angry about, now I sit down and I sort of like reflect, like, and I'm just like, it's not that big of a deal. I noticed that for the first time. This is a funny story. When I started meditating, I noticed that for the very first time that meditation was helping me with things like this. When my siblings and I like have a really good relationship, but we would always get mad at each other for the dumbest things. Like our arguments were the dumbest. Like nothing really serious, but we would get incredibly angry at each other for the dumbest reasons. I would always ask my brother for his charger, and I would never put it back in its place. Mm-hmm. So just not on purpose, I just was super dumb and I would forget. So I would take his charger, and then he would go to lay down and his charger wouldn't be there, and that would aggravate him. You know, like when you like, it's a long day, you lay down and your charger's not there. He would come in my room and be like, don't ever fucking take my charger if you're not gonna put it back in its place. And it would make me feel so bad. I'm like, why can't I remember to put it back in its place? and it happened multiple times, and at some point he got really, really angry, I remember, and was just like, just never take my fucking charger again if you're gonna do that. And I was like, okay, like super mad. And I was like, okay, tell me why. I go into my car the next day. He had taken my car charger, and my car charger though is different though, because my phone is dead, but that's my fault for not charging it overnight, but it's dead. I'm driving to school, and now my charger's missing, and I'm looking for it, and I go,
like, I need to unroot.
Yeah, so I grabbed my phone. I was like, I'm gonna fucking tell him, like, you tell me not to fucking take your charger. I was literally about to write it, and my mind literally checked myself. I'm like, it's a charger. And I started laughing, like, in my car. Like, I'm like, you're about to lose your mind over a charger? In 30 minutes, you're going to get to school, and someone will give you their charger, and your phone will be charged. You missed nothing on your 30-minute ride to school. And I was like, I'm like, damn, that check would have never happened to me normally. I would have maybe afterwards, after that situation ended, been like, yeah, like we would have probably laughed about it as we normally do. Like, I can't believe we got mad at each other for a charger. But that was the first time ever that before I got mad.
Before you reacted, you like checked yourself.
Before I reacted, that thought was immediately like, it's a charger. And I was like, this is the most 21st century argument ever. Like, I have 20 minutes before I'm going to get another charger. What am I tripping about?
That is so cool.
Yeah, my phone died, and I just listened to the radio, like, and I vibed the entire way. Like, but it was the first time I was like, this is powerful. Like, wow. I'm going to be a better person because of this, you know?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it's super cool.
The power of the mind. And
I'm sure by the end of the 75 days, like, I can't wait to ask you about, like, how you feel, like, and
how I change as a person.
And, like, little things. It's super exciting. And I feel like with what you're doing, there's going to be, like, major changes. Like, a book, meditation, double exercise, like, gallons of water. Like, you're literally going to level up. Like, I want to know how it goes for you, and then maybe I'll try the 75 hard.
Do it.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I mean, like, at first, like, I was like, I'm going to do 75 hard challenge my way. And then, like, I sat back and I'm like, 75 is, like, almost 3 months.
Yeah.
I'm like, what did I get myself into? I like went out like to dinner for the first time with like some new friends, and everyone got alcohol, and they're like, no, you have to drink. I'm like, I can't.
75 hard
For
says
3
no.
months. And like, you're making us wait for 75 days. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not giving up. Are you kidding? This is only the 3rd day, sir.
Damn. And it's such a life. I think it'll get easier. Like in the beginning, it's probably really hard.
Yeah.
And then it'll probably get easy because you go from like you only exercise once. Like there's a ton of new changes all of a sudden, like overnight. You know.
Exactly.
I admire you doing it and like sticking to it, especially in a moment like that. Like I would probably be like, all right, I'll sip.
I'll sip.
74 hard.
74.
I'd be like, it's not gonna hurt, you know.
74 hard. That's
Yeah.
funny.
I'm not even a drinker, but in moments like that, I like to like, I don't know, buy a pink drink.
Socialize, you know? Like for me, like when I say drink, I mean like a champagne. I mean like a wine.
Yeah.
I don't like hard alcohol. It's not really my vibe.
Yeah, but one day
One day we getting plastered.
in some vacation that we
Tropical.
go to, yeah.
Tropical. It has to be tropical. There's no other way to get plastered. I want to get plastered
Wait,
on
we
the
told them we're
beach.
moving in together, right?
Yeah, we're moving in together.
Did we tell them?
I don't know. Well, we're moving in together.
Like officially, like in the beginning, it wasn't gonna be Nona.
Yeah. In the beginning, I was like iffy
It was
because
gonna
of
be me
like
and Elena.
situations.
Yeah, and now the other day she came to me, she's like, I have something to say. Like we were in my bedroom like editing, I think the podcast or like listening to it after, and she was just sitting on the floor. She's like, I sort of want to talk to you about something, and I was like, what? She's like, I think that like if we like I forgot what the situation was, but like I'm gonna move in with you guys, and I was like, my eyes lit up. I was
Yeah,
like,
she's so
"Really?
excited. Yeah, bro. I'm excited. It's gonna be cool.
It's gonna be super cool, and it's gonna be exciting to see what we can do together, and
Exactly.
it's exciting to live together. Someone the other day pointed out to me that I barely know them for like a year. And I was like, damn, like I guess, but I didn't even think about it that way, that I'm moving in with people that I've known for under a year.
Yeah.
I literally I had to be reminded that I knew you guys for only a year.
Wait, when did we meet? We met August.
We can even check our DMs.
August. I think we met. No,
August of last year? August the year before.
2020.
Oh yeah, it's been
2021.
a while.
No, wait.
Who are you?
I'm like,
who are you? When
who
are
are you?
No, for real, because it's not August of last year. Elena visited me August of last year. Like,
We met.
stayed at my place.
I met Elena
When did we
like
meet?
a few months ago. I've only met Elena a couple of times now that I think about it. I've only hung out with her. I can't even count on my fingers, bro.
We're moving in. Wait, that's so funny. She said, I've only hung out with Elena twice.
I'm coming down to realizations. Are we moving too soon?
That's what I told her. I was like, we're moving so fast.
You know when you meet like those movies, it's like when you meet a guy and like they go on a few dates and they're like, we're gonna get married.
But we did move pretty fast. She
We
met
did.
me and we were like, you want to go to Bali?
I'm not even kidding,
That
bro.
literally was our first conversation. We're like, you want to start a podcast?
Yeah, bro. The second time that I met you, I was like, we should start a podcast because we talk a lot. And the first thing that we
I think it was the first time that we met that we were like these like ideas in our heads. We're like,
we
were
were
the same. We were on the
so
Stairmaster. Do you
much.
remember?
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh my god, I was on the Stairmaster. I could barely breathe, and she was just like, yeah, we're gonna. I was like, for a moment.
Please shut up.
No, I love the conversations, but it was so crazy how she's just a Stairmaster queen. She was just going at it, you know? And I was literally like, yeah, we can do a podcast. I was literally like struggling.
Yeah, bro. No, honestly, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
It's crazy, but it's so exciting what the future holds. I'm so excited to see what the future holds with my girls. Like, I can't wait for you guys to see what we would do together. And this is the most exciting point of my life that I'm gonna be doing something that I've always wanted to do.
It's a new chapter.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of a jump. It's a little bit of a risk.
It's a risk for sure.
Yeah, and it's exciting. It makes it exciting.
Yeah, exactly. It's excitement. Well, we're wrapping up Muscle Mommies, and a takeaway from this episode is
That the gym might be incredibly hard sometimes, but it's something that's worth it. And you just have to pull the trigger. Those hard days are just you versus you. So pull it, send it, and you're gonna come back like they were right.
be consistent, fam.
And the more consistent you are, the more that place is gonna feel like home.
Exactly. And it's scary at first, but trust me, it's just a phase. And you will love it, and you're going to love everyone in there, and it's literally going to be your second home.
And I can't wait to hear about how it becomes your second home. Oh, and if you're experienced and you're feeling a lack of motivation, me too, by the way. Her too.
Same.
It's so normal, and especially at least for me during this time, it's been worse with my up and downs like 5 times. But it's worth to choose you and taking care of yourself every time.
Exactly, because you know you the best.
Facts.
And we love you.
We love you guys.
And we can't wait until we speak again.
Bye.
Bye.